Well, hello. Now, I'm recording this 5 days into 2022 on January 5th. It's Wednesday. Starting here at 9:15 a.m. This is my New Year greeting video. The start of 2022 and saying goodbye to 2021. And there are some milestones with this year. With this year being 40 years since E.T. was released in 1982. Also, in June of this year is 20 years since Elizabeth Smart was abducted from her bedroom by Brian David Mitchell. And she was then 14 years old and held captive by him for 9 months from June of 2002 to March of 2003. And she was finally rescued, found alive. That was a relief to me and a lot of people too, especially with other children that got abducted and were found dead during that year too. And she turned 15 in November of 2002. And this year also will be 10 years since Skylar Niece's murder by her two friends, Sheila Eddy and Rachel Shove. It happened in early part of July that year. A week after we had that big windstorm that knocked the power out. There at the end of June 2012. Also, at the end of this year, this was 9 years last month in December since that Sandy Hook shooting in December. Will make it 10 years since that happened. But this year, I want to continue making some videos, what I can make videos of, and this won't be until this spring. The things in 2021, I'm just so glad that we did get to have the Mannington Fair this year, or last year, it was 5 months ago. Hoping to get to have the fair this year, that nothing happens that they'd have to cancel that. Got a new Omicron variant of COVID-19, but more people got vaccinated. We haven't had much snow yet, even since winter officially began. On about 21st of December. It had some snow earlier in December that melted away later in the day. Well, it's always a bit of disappointing news about Betty White. Here, just 12 days from now, it was going to be her 100th birthday. But yet her life got cut short there by 17 days. Last Friday, December 31st. That's a bit disappointing. I see a lot of people make it to 99 and don't even make it to 100. And some just maybe months away from their birthday, like at least 6 months or more. I'd say there were plans for a celebration for her. A lot of people were looking forward to seeing her turn 100. Even the latest People magazine has her picture on there. Betty White turns 100. Of course, that was printed up last week before she died. And then there's these Griffith family vloggers. There's, well, Ellie and Jared Meekum, Bonnie Holing, their sisters, and then there's Julie Daru has Daru Crew vlogs. And there's a Griffith's life with her brother Beau. And of course, there's her oldest sister Ruby, married Kevin Frankie. Her husband is Kevin Frankie, and they 6 kids called the Channel 8 Passengers. I never see them with the rest of their family in any of their videos at any family gatherings. I wonder if something's going on with them then, with their family. Also, back on August 16th, there was a video posted that, Bonnie and her husband Joel Holing and their kids had made a video here in West Virginia, all the way from Utah. And they made a trip here sometime earlier at the beginning of August, during when we had the fair week. And they'd visited Snowshoe. In that place where there's kind of a dead zone, where they have them big satellite dishes there at West Virginia to Virginia state line. I mean, it would have been something, though, if I would have actually run into them. Say they would have been someplace where I was and actually got to meet them. When they were here, it was, well, they headed home was right while the Olympics were still going on there earlier in August. But I mean, I'd get to meet with some of these YouTubers. I'd have to be going clear out west if I'd ever want to see them. Of course, the Bertaley family aren't even living in Maryland anymore. They've been out in Los Angeles, and they kind of quit putting videos together a couple years ago. And that one son, Caleb, that died, he would be turning 20 years old this year, I'd say in June or July. Well, I think it's July, but there's still others out there in Maryland, though, that it's the Donnellys. They're ones that are friends of the Bertaley family. Just wonder if anybody else here in West Virginia actually recognized Bonnie and Joel. Well, meaning people all around the U.S. would see him and say, "Oh, I see you on YouTube." That's Bonnie and Joel Holing. It would have been an amazing thing to actually run into them. Wonder if then they will ever come back this way again. I doubt they just make multiple trips here. Well, this year I hope things get better with the COVID-19. Maybe some point in time it's going to be history, and never see it again. It's like many other diseases, they don't go away. Or it's just a virus. But hopefully it will be history. It's hard to tell how long we'd be putting up with this going on. 2 years ago at this time, I was looking forward to a lot of things that year, including the fair. And yet, the fair didn't end up getting to happen because of COVID and a lot of other stuff had gotten canceled. So, I'm going to sign off saying, well, here's to 2022, 1 year that in this century that has 3 2s. And it'll happen every century up until 2922. Of course, it also had 2992, double 9s and 2 2s. Wouldn't want to go that far, but hey, this is us. Just came back last night for the 6th and final season. After the 18 episodes, and that will be the end of that series. And last year we saw CBS All Access become Paramount Plus. So I think this is all I'm going to talk about on here now. And so, God bless us. Remember Betty White when it is her birthday. And happy 2022 and goodbye.